checking out a hot Gen Con release, Little Alchemist. Alchemist is one of those games, Big Alchemist is one of those games that like broke my brain a bit.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
But I was like really stoked to see that you guys were coming out with this more family-friendly version.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can figure this one out better.
Yeah, it's a little more accessible, but so Little Alchemist is, of course, based on the original Alchemist that came out 10 years ago. The way the game kind of came about is that the designer Matouche, in that time, started a family. So his younger daughter, when she was like 2 or 3, started to show an interest in sort of Alchemist, but was obviously a little bit young to play because it's a heavy-duty Euro game.
Yeah.
So he started kind of showing some of the basic mechanics. In this game, you use a companion app to sort of take ingredients and you scan them to kind of make potions. So the goal in the story of the game in Little Alchemist is essentially you are basically a group of kids that find your grandpa's old potion mix and stuff in the basement, and then you're kind of like playing around with that to learn how to use it, and you decide to start a lemonade stand, except that lemonade is magic. So you're selling magic potions to adventurers.
Sounds fun.
So it's sort of more like a kidsified version of the original game, which is similar. You were selling kind of potions to adventurers. So Matouche was like showing his daughter sort of just using the app. I don't know where my phone is right now, but you'll scan it. It'll use
like deal with the devil. Like
you scan it. It'll create a potion, and then you can mark down what is happening on your thing. So then, as you take the potions off, you'll sort of like get new cards and reveal adventurers that will then come into play. So. But that was the initial loop. So his daughter was like interested in just like scanning and making potions, but then he wanted to, as she got older, introduce more of the mechanics. So this game sort of came about because he started adding new layers from the original game, but tried to make a sort of kids-ear way to do it, and then eventually decided to just make a full family game version of Alchemist. So Little Alchemist is sort of a condensed, not as intimidating version of Alchemist that has a lot of the same ideas and gameplay. It's not quite one-to-one the same stuff, so there's no worker placement. There's a few things that we changed and streamlined, but it's sort of an accessible, streamlined version that it's designed for younger kids and families. So the way it works is you've got this sort of core loop that happens. You're scanning ingredients, you're making potions, you're marking them down your grid. The first chapter is just that. You're selling potions to get coins for adventurers. If you make the potions they like, then you can mark that you've done that and you get points. It'll keep going until the end of the day. When the shop runs out, you close and you see who has the most coins at the end. It's a very simple loop, but as you play it, the companion app that's involved will give you a sort of a puzzle, and if you can solve that puzzle, you'll get keys. And the game comes with a bunch of sealed boxes that have extra components in them. So you'll get keys, and you take the key and you'll put it on the next chapter's box. So when you unlock it, then you get to take the components out, and I've already taken some of them out, but you'll get new components that get added into the game and new mechanics that layer in, and they kind of expand what's already happening. So the next chapter will play the same loop, but you've got new stuff. In this case, second chapter adds the sort of deduction element and the writing theories to it. So the very basic level. So as you're making potions, you have then the option in the app to choose to, once you know kind of more about what potions make what, you can say, okay, I know that this ingredient maybe makes those 2 potions. I'm going to guess that and write a theory. The app will check it. If you're right, then you get some extra points. So there's a new layer of scoring added.
Cool.
Chapter 3 adds sort of some new ingredients. So you have the opportunity to make a couple different kinds of potions. You got pink heart potions, and then these used to be called death potions. They're not death potions anymore. There's something less ominous. And then you also get some new adventurers that come into play. There's a little gothy kid that likes the dark potions,
adorable.
And then you've got like the pink
bard
potions.
Or something.
Yeah. So
love it.
there's new stuff that's added in. There's other things that are added later in the game, but we don't want to have too many spoilers. I will say that sometimes you get new ingredients, and then in this case, you actually will take like a puzzle piece and attach it to the grid so it expands. And it expands a couple times so that by the time you get to the end of the 7th chapter, when you're playing the full game with all these different components together, it's about as complicated as the Alchemist level of deduction, but it doesn't have some of the other layers of complexity. It's a little bit lighter.
Cool.
It's designed so that you start off with chapter 1, you have to replay it a bunch, and then as younger players get to master sort of what's in that chapter, they'll get to discover something new and then get a chance to kind of learn how that works on their own across multiple plays. And then it scales up and down, so if you're playing with like a mixed group of like maybe you got a family sitting down, you've got younger players that want to just kind of do the scanning part, they can participate, but you have like levels, chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7 get closer to being like full adult, kind of like medium weight family Euro games. So when you play the full 7th chapter, it's everything in the game at once. It's a lot more complicated than what I'm showing you here. You also get some of the little pets and stuff. There's little cute things that kind of add into the experience. So But it gets heavier as you play it a lot more, and it gives younger players time to kind of acclimate, learn, and feel smart about like what they're discovering.
Not just younger players.
I mean, that's true, yeah.
Me too.
That's
me too.
I mean, also just being able to open up, so boxes full of goodies. Like, what's in this? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, super
it feels
cool.
surprising. We also have there's the manual and stuff. We put little seals on it, so that when you get to certain chapters, you open the seal and it gives you more rules and stuff.
Oh, nice.
But the app is also designed so that you can basically hand the app to a player and they can just play the whole game with the tutorials that are built into the app. There's like cute little cutscenes and stuff. We're still finalizing. The app is playable now, the launch version, but by later in September we'll have all the chapters will be fully animated with cutscenes and stuff. So
very cool.
Very like kid friendly, family friendly, and it sort of scales depending on how complex you want it to be.
Very cool. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, no problem.
Not my Little Alchemist, just Little Alchemist.